So we're recording this a day after the Monday night football game.
That'd be Tuesday.
Where, yeah, so we're on a Tuesday night. Good job, Rich. Proud of you.
All right.
Damar gets kind of it's weird, and we're not going to speculate on anything here. We're just going to talk about the incident itself. So he gets hit in kind of an odd play because he's on defense, but he gets kind of bowled over by a Bengals receiver, and takes a weird pop to the chest. Goes down, stands up for a few seconds, and then immediately goes right back down. Looks almost like he passes out. Unfortunately, that's not all it was. He suffers a cardiac event on the field, from my understanding. Bob, do you want to fill in the blanks there?
Yeah, I've actually got a little bit of info on this. I've been following it closely, just because, obviously, none of us played sports at that high level. None of us played beyond high school. I had a scary situation when I was younger playing football where I had a spinal compression and was paralyzed for very, very short period, but was unable to move anything, was unable to move any of my extremities. And this just kind of, that was at practice. This was a play that looked very routine. It was a play that you see a million times a game. And he took an awkward shot to the chest, and it, according to what his representatives and family have said, his heart stopped. He was died essentially twice on the field. The reason it wasn't in a meet where he was able to stand up and everything is because his heart had stopped beating, but his brain was still sending messages. So he was still able to move. He was still able to function, and he was aware of what was going on. He was aware of what was going on, and he was trying, hey, help. And then he hit the ground. And so it's scary to think that in a game that we've enjoyed for how long, Richie, I know you played briefly with us freshman year. I played for years. We've watched this stuff happen, and it's just this routine thing. And to see somebody nearly die from it is just, it's scary, man. It's terrifying. And what I'll say is, he's fighting for his life. He's nowhere near out of the woods. They did CPR for 10 minutes on the field, and they got to him quick and did it. They started quickly. But the problem is, you still, even with CPR and even with, I can tell you from my work, there's been plenty of times when we've been struggling to get a pulse, and we'll get a pulse and we'll think, oh, thank God we got a pulse. He's good to go. We're good, and then, we find out an hour later, 2 hours later, a day later, well, they died. They had significant brain injury from lack of oxygen. And so I'm hoping that that's not the case here. The guy, from all accounts, and obviously it's easy to paint people in a certain light once, when bad shit happens, everybody's like, oh, they were an angel. You look at what this kid has been doing since his college days, starting charities and trying to reach out to the kids in his community and other communities around him, and doing Christmas charities, Christmas toy drives and stuff that he started his own. He didn't have to do that, but he genuinely cared about the people in his community and wanted to do good. And so it sucks, for anybody to randomly just lose their life. But this is a special kid, and just hopefully he pulls through.
Yeah, definitely. No, he's 24 years old. He had done like you had mentioned, the one Christmas charity, and they'd raised a few $1,000s, I think, prior to Christmas. And the last I checked, it was over $5 million. That's just, that's made the rounds, and people are you know, pumping money into it. And my understanding is those things have limitations of like $5,000 per donation. So it just tells you how many people have donated to this thing. And for the fact, young kid, freak thing, hopefully everything keeps going in the right direction. But just so weird. I think in the history of the NFL, there's been one fatality, I think, on field that happened about 50 years ago.
It was 1971 or 72. It was actually a guy who played for the Eagles that we traded, and it was the subsequent season he was playing with the Lions, and he died.
Yeah, he and from accounts prior that he had been actually complaining of chest pains and whatever. So most likely in his case, he had something that was undiagnosed.
Right.
And it was one of those unfortunate things, and he passed away at the age of 28. So again, that's one time in the course of how NFL's been, what is it, 100, how many years? 100 years?
125. No. It's been 100. It's
100 plus.
Yeah, it's 100 plus.
It's 100 plus. So we're talking very, very, tens of thousands of players that have gone through over the course of time. Don't get me wrong. There's been some very serious injuries. I think we've all seen them, whether you've been a football fan or not. You've caught a highlight of different things over the years. Bo Jackson, Joe Theismann,
Hassan
Dennis
Reddick,
Byrd.
Hassan Reddick this weekend in the Eagles game.
Yes, that was another scary one.
Field on a a back brace or a backboard and back brace, and luckily he's got full movement. He's expected to come back this year, but just all the well wishes in the world, whatever prayers, thoughts, good vibes, whatever the fuck you believe in, man, send him that kid's way, send him his family's way, his teammates, anybody on that field, anybody with the organizations, because they're all shaking right now. They're all it's crazy. So,
but now, yeah, we had to say something there. It's very I know Richie, I know you don't follow football or sports in general a whole lot, but Bob and I are big fans, and to see something like that happen yesterday was just, I don't know. And it's really kind of brings you back down to earth.
Well, I saw a good point. Mick Foley had correlated it to Owen Hart when Owen Hart died, and then WWE continued with the show, and he was just kind of like, you know what, I'm so glad that the NFL had the wherewithal to actually just call a game.
Yeah, actually, the funny thing was, I don't mean funny and haha, but just kind of ironic. The odd part was the first thing I thought of was Jerry Lawler when he suffered the heart attack on air, and it was very strange, on how that all transpired with no comment. They kept it going, but it was no commentary, I think, for several matches in a row, and it was odd. But Lawler himself commented on it too, which was kind of interesting. Really hoping that the kid obviously pulls through, but it's like, hey, I might know a thing or two about something like this. So it was interesting. Anyway, let's move on to something a lot more lighthearted, because we are in episode 1 of season 4, believe it or not.
Yeah, they haven't kicked us out yet.
No,
I think that's because nobody listens, so they don't know that we're bad. They don't know how bad we are yet.
No, not yet. Maybe they'll figure it out in 23.
Maybe. Here's hoping.
Yeah.
Hoping we get that listener spike, and then they listen back and they're like, "Why the fuck haven't we canceled these pieces of shit yet?"
Yeah. Someone's bound to find one piece of content that's going to put us all behind bars.
Johnny Bench.
Yep. Johnny Bench is going to find it.
You sons of the bitches tried to kill me. Blue Emu is going to fucking file a suit against us for defamation or some shit.
Probably. It'll be something stupid.
Yeah. Rich, I got to say, man, I don't know if it's because you shaved or what, but I know you've been on this weight loss journey and you do look slimmer. You look noticeably slimmer. So good job, man.
Thank you. It's been 6 months.
Awesome.
I've lost a total of 4 pounds, but apparently you're not supposed to go by weight loss.
Right.
You're supposed to go by other things. Yeah, I just had I don't know how many things. I'm working with an endocrinologist for my diabetes, and she said if things keep up the way they are on the blood test, we're going to start taking away medications next visit. So yeah.
Sweet, dude.
That is awesome.
Good job.
That is great,
that's
dude.
good stuff to hear.
Was that all through just changes in like how you approach life, or?
It's just the only thing I did is I started going to the gym. That was it.
Sweet. That's awesome,
Yeah.
man. I think that's proof point right there how powerful exercise can be. Then
Yep.
you know,
The dog gets 2 walks a day, and then I go to the gym 3 times a week, an hour a day.
Nice, man.
Yes.
awesome.
That's awesome.
And then I still drink my alcohol, and yeah, I tried cutting out carbs, but I started adding carbs back in again because I had to after going to the gym because I was getting low sugars.
Mm,
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yes.
That's why they say it's a good idea after you go to the gym to have a beer.
There
And
you go.
that's not me bullshitting. They actually say that it aids in recovery. It's drinking a dark beer after working out will help aid in recovery.
I've been
yeah,
doing
yeah. We've talked about that on here. That a lot of runners do it.
protein shakes.
Well, I'm not talking about what you do in your off time.
I know.
Womp womp womp. So have you guys let's see, we haven't really conversed here in a
I
couple
am
weeks.
starting to get like definition of like I'm not going to take off my shirt, but I get the little like I go
That's for
from
OnlyFans.
it used to be from shoulder to the neck, and now there's that little bump thing on the sides of the.
You're
Mm.
getting some
Yeah.
deltoids, huh?
I guess I have no idea what the muscle groups are, and I'm getting a little bit of
Oh, look at you.
the arms. I told the doctor it's like my arms and legs are getting muscular, but like the middle of me still all fat and pudgy. And
Dude,
she said that's because you're middle aged and diabetic. It's going to take a while.
Yeah.
So that makes sense, I guess.
Look, man, you're becoming the kingpin.
There you go. Yes.
There you go.
That's what it is.
See, that Richie, when you said that, it just reminded me of like you could have cut a good wrestling promo. Oh, I'm middle-aged and diabetic. I'm coming for you.
Hard times.
Hard times, daddy. Hard times.
As I said, I told you guys in the thing that my fit spell is Brian Cage, but I'm not ready to do steroids yet. And even if I did, I'm still 5 foot something and bald. So John Silver is my goal, I guess. It's the best I can hope for. Best case scenario.
Look, man, John Silver's in damn good shape. So,
Yeah. And I think I actually got an inch or two on him.
yeah, I think isn't he like 5'5" or something like that?
He's 5 something. He's short.
like
Let's look it up.
2 inches away from being a Pokemon.
Yeah, John Silver is 5'5".
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a half inch on him. Then I'm like 5'5" and a quarter or something. I forget what the doctor said.
There you go.
Yeah.
Are you really only 5'5"?
Something like that. Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I thought you're taller than that.
I'm a short, fat Italian guy.
Now, here's the thing.
I'm okay with it.
If you're legitimately 5'5" and John Silver is listed at 5'5", that means he's not 5'5".
Yeah, he's more like 5'3".
Yeah.
It's either 5'5" and a half or 5'6" and a half. It's something like that. I forget exactly what it was.
Yeah, he's shorter. He's got that Champa beard.
Yeah.
Which I always wonder. Champa's got to be what, 6 foot?
Champa, I want to say
He's 5'11".
Yeah.
He's on the shorter side too for a wrestler.
Yeah, but he wrestles with Johnny Gargano, which makes him look like he's 6'5".
That's a good point.
So
Evil Uno's pretty tall too. You always see him and John Silver next to each other.
Who's that?
Is it Evil Uno's pretty tall too?
Yeah, I like Evil Uno. I like some of the going back to some of the indie stuff that he and Stu Grayson did as the Super Smash Brothers, where they had the Nintendo controllers on their pants, and like somebody would hit the pause button, and then he would just freeze, and then somebody would have to come up and hit the pause button again, and he would unfreeze. I like that.
It's pretty creative.
Yeah.
Evil Uno is 6 foot flat, so there you go.
All right.
Yeah, so he's a tall one apparently.
All right. So I'll be Evil Uno. You can be John Silver, and Tom, you can be Alex Reynolds.
Sure.
I never got the hair. I never saw Big Cass and whatever. When he started for AEW, he's like 7 feet tall. He's a big guy.
You can't teach
That's
that.
impressive. Sorry?
He's I'm sorry, but like that'll never leave my
No.
mind.
So when he was in NXT and he was wrestling with Enzo Amore, Enzo would come out and go, he would do his promo and he would say, and this is Big Cass, and he's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
So-
worked really well for the time. I don't know that it holds up today.
Gotcha.
And I say the time, that wasn't really that long ago.
No, but no, I mean, honestly, I hope he does well. Enzo, not so much, because Enzo seems like a little shitbag still. But Cass seems like he turned it around. And
Yeah, he was one, he had a lot of problems. I think he got into some drugs and whatnot and had some pretty interesting events happen on the independents. Not quite to like the Scott Hall or Jeff Hardy levels. But and rest in peace, Scott Hall. But I think he had some demons that he was battling. And then he made his way through TNA. And then now he's doing some work with AEW. So I mean, he's made his way back around, if you will. I mean, playing again with the big boys.
yeah.
Poor Jeff Hardy. He was doing so good in AEW and then just gone.
Dude,
He can't put his demons to bed. And that's
I feel bad for him. I really do. But I don't hold I hold him and I hold Matt accountable for it. Because if Matt, look, as someone who has family that needs help with things, you can't always fix their problems for them. They have to want to fix their problems. They have to commit to fixing their problems. But when you're in the positions that Matt and Jeff are in, you've got to get it. You got to get it done. And at some point, Matt needs to stop. I don't want to say he's enabling him, but by continuing to bring him in, if he knew he wasn't good when he brought him into AEW, he should have told Tony Khan, no, he can't do it.
Yeah, and especially since he had, and I mean within months, not even, just left
Sounds
the.
quick. Yeah,
It was so fast. It's not like he waited a year to come back.
Right.
This guy has a long track record of problems, in ring with his problems, and substance abuse and whatever. And Bob, I completely agree. I'm not going as far as to say Matt Hardy's an enabler, but he's got to shoulder some of this too. Maybe Jeff needs some DDP in his life. I don't know what else is going to work.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And if he would be willing to actually open up and listen and do what needs to be done, and he completes the DDP yoga thing and he does what he needs to do to get straight, cool, man, have him back. But you know what? At this point, if I'm a promoter, I'm not touching him with a 10-foot pole. And as far as I'm concerned, though, I'm not dealing with Matt either, because I'm not. You know what? I don't know. Maybe I'm just holding a grudge against Matt for unfairly, but I don't like the way that he handled that whole situation.
Yeah, I think the other thing too with Matt, and again, I'm not going to sit here and chastise him, beat him down any, but see, that's a package. Jeff and Matt have been together doing business together since they were teenagers. I hate to say it's a package deal with them too. And I think, with all of Jeff's problems, Matt has had over the years some kind of sway into being like, you know what, just give another shot. Just give another shot. Just give another shot. Look, you can only fool someone so many times. And I think, that happened in WWF and WWE many times over the years. It happened in TNA. It's happened in AEW. I think we can say that it's bound to happen again, any of those companies or anywhere else.
Well, and look at it like this too. Remember when the reports came out that Jeff was this or Jeff was that, as far as whether he was on drugs or if he was drunk or whatever. And then right before he came to AEW, And then Matt basically made a Twitter post, like a video on Twitter, talking shit on that and saying how it was a lie and it wasn't true and this and that. And then, but then what ends up happening when he goes to AEW? The same fucking thing. So that's where that's where my anger with Matt comes into play. Is you went out and you vouched for him and you basically called everyone who was saying that Jeff was doing these things a fucking liar. And then it turns out that, hey, that might not have been the case. That it seems like it was pretty much legitimate. So that's where my anger for Jeff or for Matt comes into it, and where I drag him in. But again, at the end of the day, Jeff is an adult, and Jeff needs to do what Jeff needs to do, and he doesn't seem capable of doing that. So, it sucks, and I don't want anything bad to happen to Jeff. I don't want anything bad to happen to Matt. I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody, but I also don't want something bad to happen to someone innocent and completely uninvolved because one of them makes a bad decision.
Yeah.
Like Jeff on that, if you guys saw the DUI video of him getting pulled over, like he could have killed multiple people on that highway that day. Thank God he didn't. But, where does it stop?
Yeah. No, I agree. Rich, you got any thoughts on that?
No, I agree. Yeah. Just preach.
Preach it, brother. I know. And here's the thing, too. Again, I'm not going to equate the same people here, but we have a similar situation anyway with Sonny, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, not in the spotlight anymore. Was doing a lot different things. We won't get into that to make money and whatever. But I mean, repeat offender over and over and over and over again. That's on her. Much the same way it's on Jeff, and some people around him. I don't know. Look, I'm all for giving second, third, fourth chances, whatever it takes.
Isn't she in jail, or did she? I don't know how that.
I don't know. What day of the week is it?
Yeah, the last I heard, she was like was it a hit and run, or she hit someone, or some weird thing?
Yeah, it was a hit and run, and I believe she is still in jail.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean that's another one where.
And yet X-Pac walks around free.
Well, listen, he got his, man, when he tore his asshole open doing a Bronco Buster on that turnbuckle. Did you hear about that?
Yeah. Still not enough.
Wait, was it his asshole and his nutsack, or was it just his asshole?
I don't remember. All I know is that the injury did not sound good.
Yeah. Anytime you're talking about ripping open an asshole or a nutsack, it's painful, and I don't really,
It always sounds like something that you get threatened with,
right?
Not that it actually ever happens, but it happened to him,
right? Just split you from seam to seam.
I've only been involved in the last year or so I haven't been involved in our 69 episodes or whatever it was that we're up to now. Have we ever done a worse celebrity sex tape episode? Because that one he did with China has got to be up there, like with the Screech one. They got to be like the top tier.
Screech did a sex tape?
Oh yeah.
I have a feeling we mentioned a couple of these before, but I have a feeling you were there already, Rich.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Because no, we've done. So to clarify, we've done far more than 69 episodes.
I know. Yeah.
So we've got. I mean, 69 was.
I just wanted to say 69.
Okay, well, fair enough.
That was just last season. Over that, yes, I got it. Yeah.
All right, we were up to 71 last season, is what we made it to. So, I mean,
so we're on the American syndication thing, and not like the BBC seasons where we only do 3 episodes a year.
Yes,
but they're 2 hour long episodes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they're like 5 hour long episodes. Yeah.
Although, well, Letterkenny, this latest season of Letterkenny that came out was only 6 episodes, and they're like 24 to 28 minutes each.
Blimey, that's not syndication though.
But yeah, but I know. Fuck off.
That's a Canadian program though, isn't it?
It is a Canadian program.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing. I highly suggest you guys watch it. Fucking outstanding. It's on Hulu.
I don't know. And when I think of Canadian comedy, I think you can't get better than Red Green. So
Red Green.
You ever saw the Red Green show?
No.
Old school Canadian. Used to be on PBS, BBC.
I've heard of it, but I don't know that I remember it. Let me look it up real quick.
It was entertaining at the time. I don't know if it holds up. Kids in the Hall holds up.
Kids in the Hall, yeah.
Kids in the Hall.
That's what I think of as Kids in the Hall.
I think if you can't do that on television.
Television, yeah. Kids in the Hall, you can't do it on television. Yeah.
What's that all about?
And what was the other one? Not Strange Brew.
No, well, that was part of.
Yeah, what was that? CCT? Was it CCT?
CCTV. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, he's talking about the Rick Moranis movie.
Well, Strange Brew was based off of a sketch they did.
Yeah.
Bob and Doug McKenzie. Yeah. Which is always a staple of my Christmas playlist is the 12 Days of Christmas, the Canadian 12 Days of Christmas. And a beer in a tree. So speaking of Christmas, Yuletide, Boxing Day, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and
holidays, happy holidays. But yes.
How did you guys have any fun while we were away?
Well, I'm on my second week of vacation. I didn't do anything last week, and this week I came back home and planned on doing stuff around the house that I haven't done anything yet, even though I'm on day 2 of being back home for the week. Went food shopping yesterday. Woohoo!
There you go.
That's the way vacation's supposed to go when you're at home, is not doing anything.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to get the basement back together. I'm not going to move the camera, but I'm surrounded by like boxes of stuff from the flood. Like everything got repaired. It's just I need to get stuff on shelves and stuff rearranged and stuff like that. Today I cut some 2x4s to put boxes of comics on so they're not sitting on the floor, just in case.
There you go. That's smart.
Yeah.
That's fucking smart.
Yeah, they were up there before. It's just I got more comics since then, so I needed more floor space.
Why don't you make some shelves, man?
I make shelves. I got shelved boxes. So I got the long boxes inside of, well, they're called shelf boxes, but they're like a sleeve, so you can pull it out like a drawer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was gonna say you live right near the Amish. You could probably commission them to build you some fine wares.
Sex dungeon.
Yeah.
Not a dungeon though. It'd be inside one of them sheds because they're good in them sheds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys could do a barn raising.
There you go. They'll raise something.
Only if you see some ankle.
There you go.
Womp womp.
Oh, dude, we're gonna get great. There we go. We just lost all of our Amish listeners.
Yes.
Oh, man, we went from 6 to 2.
Son of a bitch.
Find out that our largest demographic is Amish.
That's funny because whenever I see an Amish lady, I go from 6 to 12.
Oh man. Actually, I was just returned from the Northeast. I was up there for a week.
And you didn't visit us. You didn't visit
No. I was such a whirlwind deal, and everyone but myself got sick. So, cheers to me.
I don't think your wife likes me anyway.
Yeah, she does. Yeah,
whenever I comment in our thread,
it's
like
her mom,
just quiet.
It's her mom that doesn't like you.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a will they won't they kind of thing going on. Her mom's just being rough, hard to get. That's what it is.
Hey, how did Booby like her Christmas surprise?
Oh, the ones that you sent earlier?
No, the fucking trip to New York to go see.
Oh! I thought you were talking about the gifts you sent. Oh no, she loved it. It was awesome. She was completely surprised. We went and saw 6.
I have no idea what that is.
So it's basically the 6 Wives of King Henry. It's modernized. So
is that a musical, a Broadway show, a movie? We need a little more.
Yeah. It's on Broadway. It's a musical. There's it's a all-female cast. And it's just them, the 6 wives. They all have a correlation to a modern day singer. So like there's one that is like Adele. There's one that's like a Beyonce. Very, very well written. There's a house band that plays behind them. It's fast. It's 80 minutes, no intermission.
Was Henry played by Lizzo?
No, there is no Henry. It's all
just the wives.
Yeah, just the wives. But it's really, 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 really good. Actually, the funny thing, you say that though, so they're playing some harp music prior to the show, and they're playing all these modern songs, and they play a couple Lizzo tunes on the harp, which was.
I imagine every musical's like that now because of how good
Hamilton did.
Thank you. Yes.
Lizzo does have an acting part coming up. She's gonna be in a movie. We've talked about whether or not we like remakes or whether they're good for the industry and whatever. And but they're remaking
Precious?
No.
By Sapphire, or whatever the hell that was called.
No, I know what you're talking about. No, it's not Precious. No, they're remaking Spaceballs, and she's playing Pizza the Hut.
Oh, that's worse.
I could have gone Star Wars and Jabba the Hutt, but
can't take that away from Dom DeLuise.
I thought the Jabba the Hutt was a little too mean, so I went Pizza the Hut.
Yeah.
No, that's mean too.
I saw Bullet Train.
Yeah, how was that?
We watched a couple of Netflix movies, one of which was horrible, and the other two were pretty good. Bullet Train was good. It was a stupid comedy, like not comedy, action movie, but in a good way. Very much like a Tarantino-esque thing. Or maybe not Tarantino. Who's that British guy that was married to Madonna?
Guy Ritchie.
Like his stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, Guy Ritchie.
Yeah, like Snatch or one of those kind of things. Very similar.
Snatch.
It's very good though. That would I recommend. We saw Where the Crawdads. I was like I said, I spent a week with my mom. Where the Crawdads Sing, which was like we picked movies, and like Bullet Train was definitely something made for me that I'd enjoy. Where the Crawdads Sing is like something made for our moms. It was apparently based off of a book I never heard of. But this woman in the 30s grows up in the swamp with an abusive alcoholic dad. And her whole family winds up leaving at some point, except for her and her dad, until her dad disappears one day. And she just stays in the swamp by herself, living by herself. And eventually she falls in love with two different boys, one of which is a alcoholic, abusive boy. And the other boy loves her for who she is. And it's a murder mystery. One of the boys winds up, it may be an accidental death. We don't know. Well, we find out at the end. But she's blamed for it. So there's a trial going on, and she's trying to, she doesn't want to speak for herself. So everyone calls her the Swamp Girl. It was actually pretty good. That was a good. I'd recommend.
Yeah, I saw about a month ago or so. It's excellent for what it is.
Okay, you saw it too.
Yeah, Danielle read the book. She said the book is really good too, but she said it was very well done.
Yeah.
Comparatively to the book, there's not really, other than the lawyer, there's not really any known actors in it.
Yeah.
It's all just
cool. Like you didn't really need.
Yeah.
It was
just random people, but it's
they were all good. Like it was
the cinematography is excellent in it. It's very clean. It's very pretty. I think Danielle brought this up to me. She said the only thing that kind of made her mad was that the way the book is and then the way the movie goes, it's like the girl's just too clean on screen.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
She lives in the swamp. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I don't know anything about it, but if I hear swamp person, I'm thinking like old Greg. So.
And then they're apparently doing a pile of Stephen King adaptations on Netflix. And one of them was called In the Tall Grass, which sounded like it was going to be interesting. It's these people are traveling and they stop the car and they hear a little kid yelling from inside of this field that he can't get out. He needs help. I'm sorry?
Was it in Tall Grass?
It was in Tall Grass, yes. And they go in to find him, and they can hear him, and they're running after him, but they can't find him. And they get separated, and they realize that the grass is fucking with them, where it's like moving them from different spots, and it's changing the position of the sun. And then it turns into like weird time displacement stuff, and it just wasn't good. Like eventually you get started, this is okay. This is dumb. This keeps going. We got an hour left. It ended like that. It was just horrible. It wasn't good.
Yeah, some of the Stephen King things, especially as they're adapted, are just even as written stuff. They're misses.
It's
You
the
know,
It was based off of his short stories, which are even more like I've read every one of his. He does like a novel or two a year, and I've read the past like 10 years worth of this stuff. And usually his novels are good, but his short stories are the ones that are kind of yeah.
it's hard to top Maximum Overdrive. That's all I'm going to
This
say.
is true. Yes.
Bet you I know what would have made it, but what would have made it more enjoyable? Having some of
Movies?
that tall grass.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
They
We
were all
finished
just
Wednesday too, and
lit.
Wednesday was really good. Watched a lot of Netflix, but Wednesday was entertaining.
I'm on. I think I've got 2 episodes of Wednesday left. I've really been liking that too.
Yeah, we're gonna pick that one up. We finished off all 3 seasons of Dead to Me with Christina Applegate and
Linda
that was
Cardellini.
Linda Cardellini. The chick from Scooby Doo. Excellent.
Grandma's Boy. She's from Grandma's Boy.
That's
damn
true too.
Mallrats, wasn't that her?
No,
She wasn't the girlfriend in Mallrats.
No.
You sure?
Yes. Linda
Yeah,
Cardellini
Mallrat-
was on Freaks
yeah.
and Geeks, but she was not in Mallrats.
yeah, like her big breakthrough was like Freaks and Geeks and Scooby Doo.
I remember Freaks and Greeks. Oh, I'm
She
mixing
was-
it up with Claire from Laney. Guess.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But that was actually an excellent show. Very well done. I don't know if you guys have watched any of that, but that's totally worth your time. I felt really bad in season 3 because you could tell they're masking some of Christina's medical issues. Pretty prevalent there, but an excellent show though. Very well written. Could definitely one that you can binge. I had no mind to it. Danielle's the one that kind of found it, and it was really, really good.
Doom Patrol started again too.
Did it?
It's just fun. Yeah.
Good. I need to catch up on that and Titans, because didn't the new Titans season drop too?
I watched the first season of Titans and liked it a lot, and then I watched like half the second season and been meaning to go back to it, but I'm like so far behind now that I need to catch up.
Did so they introduced Casey Brink in the new season, right?
Yes, who was the character introduced by Gerard Way in his Doom Patrol run.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, because I like that whole storyline. So that I don't want to say anything more because I don't want to. If people are watching, I don't want to spoil any of it. But I'm excited to see.
Do you know anything about Doom Patrol, Tom?
Not really. I've caught from what you guys have talked about. I've read a little bit.
They've had multiple episodes featuring transgender street.
Gender fluid street.
Gender fluid. Sorry. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Danny the Street.
Danny the Street. Who's now Danny the Ambulance. So yes.
Okay. All right. So he is now Danny.
Oh, yeah. They did that.
They did that at the end of season 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the first season, I think it was, had Curtis Armstrong as a what the hell did Doom? One of those doomsday guys with the signs, but he's a cockroach.
Yeah. They had
It's a great series.
The asses.
Yeah. And of course, that was Brendan Fraser's big comeback that nobody saw because it originally started on not HBO Max, but the DC Universe app.
Yeah.
I was as I was going to ask, because I just looked.
It's on HBO Max.
Yes, I don't do HBO, so
I get that for if you have AT&T as your carrier, you get it for free.
No, I've got Verizon, and we use Comcast for home internet. So remember, I live out in the boons, man.
Shit, I wonder if I can get that for free now, since I'm technically AT&T. I'll have to look into that because that would save me a little bit a month.
Yeah, see, I get the Hulu and ESPN Plus and Disney Plus for free. That's what I get.
See, I have a backlog of stuff. I've watched the first episode of Andor and really enjoyed it, but there's just too much stuff out to keep up with. Like I haven't seen any of the Lord of the Rings series or I saw the first couple episodes of Game of Thrones or something of Dragons.
Yeah.
Book of Dragons, Land of Dragons, whatever the fuck it's called. Dragon on the Floor.
I watched all that House of the Dragon.
As it, with Doctor Who.
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't watched any of Andor. I really want to watch that.
People are saying that that's the best of the Star Wars series that they've done.
It makes sense
Oh.
because honestly, Rogue One has been my favorite Star Wars movie that's come out.
See, I like The Mandalorian a lot, but I like that whole space western thing. Like it reminded me a lot of. Oh man, I didn't even have a lot to drink. Firefly. Reminded me a lot of Firefly.
Okay, yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that's a good comparison. That's a very good comparison. What was the one? So I watched. Shit, I lost my train of thought. But no, I'm looking forward to watching Andor. I haven't watched any of that. I'm almost done with Wednesday. There's something else that's come out recently
The
though.
girl that plays Wednesday was in a horror movie called X, which was about it takes place in the 70s. This group of people are going to film a porno movie on this old farmhouse that's owned by these old people, and the old people start killing them. And
Oh,
she plays the virginal sound girl who's there with the camera guy, who decides that she wants to be in a scene with the black guy.
all right.
It was a weird. I mean, it wasn't bad. It just yeah, to see her go from that to Wednesday, like I guess she was supposed to be a high school girl. It's just kind of weird.
Wait, she's like, well, they do her 16th birthday
Yeah.
in the one episode, so yeah, that's kind of a disconnect there.
Yeah.
But what else have you guys seen recently that's anything?
Started watching. I mean, something that's I don't know if it's on NBC, ABC, whatever. But being in education, started watching Abbott Elementary. It's
I heard that's great.
based in Philadelphia. So I watched a couple episodes of that. It's really funny. Again, I'm not sure if I'll go all the way through it or not. Pardon me, but it's funny because of some of the references, obviously, to the area up there, and then just working in education, particularly, they make a lot of references to how to cut corners and under budgeted and whatnot. So it's I don't know. I find it kind of funny actually, with how certain people are just having been in the business now for almost 20 years. I can speak to a lot of it. But no, I really haven't picked up on anything else.
We watched all of just going back to stuff with my mom. The Interview with the Vampire series that AMC did. They took Interview with the Vampire, maybe aged it up 10 years, so it's like takes place in the 30s, I guess. Maybe right before the Depression. And they turned Louis into an African American in New Orleans who's a business owner. So they're adding a little bit of race stuff in there, but it makes it pretty cool. But other than that, they're standing relatively close to the series. Like in the books, they really played up. But before Anne Rice was known for her vampire and supernatural stuff, she was a romance writer under a pen name. So the Interview with the Vampire stuff was really gay. I mean, they'll bang anything, but the whole relationship with Louis and Lestat was, and they really go into it in the AMC series. But it was still, I mean, if you like the movies, you'll probably like the series. And they're doing the Mayfair, which is this month, starting this month. I think it starts on the 8th, which is her other big series. So I'm looking forward to that.
Nice. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I know that there's something else that I've been watching, and I can't for the life of me think of what it was. Obviously, I mentioned the new season of Letterkenny I watched, but there was something else, and
Rick and Morty just ended a couple weeks ago.
The season or the series?
The season.
Okay.
They have I think his contract was like for another 5 years or something. It was something insanely long for how long it takes them to make a season.
Then maybe that's why it's so. Maybe that's why it's so many years, because they know they'll get like at least one or two more fucking episodes out of them.
And I didn't think this season was that strong, except for the one episode that had the a space battle scene to the Pink Floyd song from the wall, and I can't think of the Goodbye Blue Skies. That was it. Which is a really good montage.
I watched Rick and Morty for a while, and I really enjoyed it. And then the fan base
The
started
game's
being
horrible.
so
Yeah.
stupid that I just stopped. I couldn't care less to watch it anymore. I do want to try the game that they just came out with.
Yeah, I don't have an Xbox, so I gotta wait for it to come out on the PlayStation.
I thought it was out on Switch and PS4 and PS5 and all that stuff.
No, not the one where it's like a first person shooter. That's an
Yeah.
Xbox exclusive for a while.
Oh shit! All right,
Yeah.
well maybe I'll get it on Xbox then.
Is it the High on Life? No.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, the weapons all talk to you and shit.
Yeah, it's strictly Xbox right now.
Oh fuck.
Oh, you can play it on PC as well if you're interested.
I'll stick to a controller box. I don't give a shit. I'm one of the unwashed masses, and that's a hill I'll die on because you know what? I'll spend $500 for a system. I'm not spending $1,000 for a fucking graphics card. Kiss my ass.
But
If you can
apparently
find
it's positive
if you can
reviews.
find
So
Yes.
because that's the
Yeah.
other thing. Look, let's talk about that for a minute. Let's alienate at least one of our fucking listeners.
Oh boy.
I don't want to hear shit about fucking PC being the superior way to play games. Kiss my ass. It's not the superior way to play games. The superior way to play free games or to cheat your little greasy black heart out. But if you want to play games, what's the best way to play, the most stable way to play? If you're all playing on the same fucking platform, if you're all playing on the same kind of hardware. That's why console gaming to me will always be better than PC gaming. Because console gaming, you're always going to get a more stable fucking way to play. Everybody's playing on the same fucking thing. And now we've got a little bit of fragmentation with like the fucking pro versions and the X and S for the Xbox and whatever. But for the most part, everybody's playing on the same fucking platform. The only difference is going to be what your internet connection is. So, and you don't have to worry about, oh, well, sorry, can't play this game that just came out on my computer that I just fucking bought because now there's a new $200,000 fucking graphics card that all the goddamn Bitcoin miners are buying up, and I can't find any at all. So I guess I'm fucked then, aren't I?
when I was playing a lot of Tetris Effect Connected, it was kind of interesting because it's cross platform, and it would show you, in this like kind of your standings or whoever you're playing against exactly what they were using by icon, except it would break it down as much as to which type of because it would show like, okay, I'm using a PC, I'm using whatever, but like if you're playing on the Switch, it would show which type of controller you were using. It's like, are you using the Pro controller? Are you using it split? Are you using the screen? Like, are you? And it really broke it down, and then you could sort it by like, okay, how good are you with it using the Pro controller? And it would rank all those players. How good are you using the split? How are you going to use all the PC players and all this? It's quite interesting, actually. I found it to be I don't know. It was neat to see because you don't really see that a whole lot, in the breakdown as far as the cross stuff goes.
I bought the PS5 months ago, and I still do most of my gaming on the Switch.
Yeah.
I watched 4K movies on the PS5 because I got the disc version, and they look really pretty on the TV. But yeah,
I've got the Series X. Well, nothing's
straight
up right now except for the Switch, but I've got the Series X. I surprised Peyton on Christmas morning with the PS5. And again, none of it's hooked up. We've been playing fucking Pokemon on the Switch.
Yeah, it's we were traveling, so I played a bit of the Switch. I picked up Brewmaster Simulator, so which actually, since I've brewed many times over the years, it's actually not a bad simulator. And if you're interested in brewing, it's a good way to learn too, because it does show you all the neat sciencey stuff behind it. But no, playing on the Switch, whether it's the handheld or on TV.
I've been playing Vampire Survivor on the phone. It made a pile of people's best of the year lists. It's just you play a vampire hunter, right? They almost stole the assets from Castlevania, but you automatically attack every whatever weapon you're using every X seconds or whatever, and it's like a rogue light, so you can get new powers and stuff like that. So the enemies keep coming at you, and you keep hitting them and collecting your experience to get the new stuff. And it's one of those, like, as you're playing it and getting further and further into it, you're killing more and more things, and it's just like one of them endorphin kicks where you get in those runs, and before you realize it, you've played it for like 3 hours. Really good. And the PS5 is just covered in dust.
Yeah.
Except for Army of Darkness 4K, which I highly recommend.
Nice.
Did you guys see? Fuck, I just completely lost it. Have you? So you've got PS5, Tom. I know you got a PS5. Have either of you played God of War? Any of the God of War games?
I have the first one because it was available as one of the Game of the Month things or whatever. But I haven't played it. And then I wanted to play Ragnarok, but apparently it starts right after that other God of War. So I figured I should play that already, and then I just never got around to playing either of them.
All right. Well, then I guess I got to get the original God of War because the one I got came with Ragnarok.
Okay.
So I guess I need to play. I guess I shouldn't say the original one either because it's like, what is it, like the 4th or 5th one in the series? But they just changed. They reset the naming.
Yeah, rebooted it.
Yeah. So all right. So I got to play that first. Good to know. I did order a game for it. I got GTA. So we'll see if I actually finally play it. Since I think this is the 5th or 6th time I've owned the game and still have yet to play
GTA 5?
Whatever the new one is.
Yeah,
5 is which is what I know it's been re-released several times over now.
Yeah,
but
I played that on the PS3 and then started over again on the PS4. And then I saw it came out for the PS5 and I just said no.
Yeah, I was going to say I did the same thing. Have it for the 3, have it for the 4.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't know. But maybe because I bought Skyrim like 8 times, but whatever.
So
Each their own.
There is an interesting game coming out that I want to get you guys' opinion on, and we may have to just talk about it next episode because I want you to see the trailer and everything, and it's not really conducive to us watching a trailer. Is not really conducive to the audio portion of the podcast. But there's a game coming out for the Switch, and I would imagine other systems. It's called Fight Crab.
I think is that not out already? I think it might be out on the Steam.
It might be out on the eShop, maybe.
Yeah.
But I've pre-ordered the physical copy on Amazon, and I'm kind of excited about it. But I definitely think we need to. This game bears a little bit of a discussion, just based on because it's one. As soon as I saw the name, I'm like Snakes on a Plane. It had that immediate hook where I'm like, all right, this is going to be good. And so I watched a little trailer on it, like a real quick trailer. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm all about this game. It definitely screams like Goat Simulator kind of vibes to me.
Yeah, I'm looking at some screens on it, and it's
it's been out on Steam since 2020, so it's been out for a couple of years now.
Oh, okay. Well, it's Steam. Again, that's PC.
I know. We know that you have a bias against PCs, yes.
I love this one screen I'm looking at, and all it is a lobster and a crab in a city, and the crab's holding a chainsaw, and the lobster's holding 2 revolvers, blasting away at the crab holding the chainsaw. And there's cars underneath them that looks like a happy-go-lucky city, and this lobster is just blasting away.
Dude, it reminds me. Remember we talked a little bit ago about a game called Squirrel with a Gun or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's so much like that where that may be what I may have to play Squirrel with a Gun on the PC. So okay, I'll do that. But I'm so intrigued by these stupid ass, like basically broken physics simulator games. They make me laugh. So I will play them 100 times out of 100 against a lot of the AAA shit that comes out.
Yeah, this is I don't know. It does look pretty entertaining. I might have to check that one out.
So all right, so let's finish this episode up with this. Obviously, there's some really good AAA games coming out that we're excited about. The new Zelda game. I'm ready to start playing the new Fire Emblem game that comes out this month. What what kind of under the radar games do you guys know about that are coming out that you're excited about for this year, or do you have any?
Hmm.
And maybe it's not new. Maybe it's not new to all of us. Like maybe it's been released, like with Fight Crab, where it's been on Steam or whatever. But it's going to be new to us when we play it when it comes out for whatever the fuck we end up playing it on.
Well, I'm still playing Shredder's Revenge. They just did an update for that, which added some new filters and some new balance. That's good. That doesn't count for what you're saying. I did download a game before Christmas that I haven't started playing yet. I don't remember what it's called, but it's like your uncle or somebody leaves you a laundromat and you start an arcade in the back of it. And it's like a sim where you start running the arcade and that starts making more money than the laundromat. And it's supposed to be really good. And I should Google what it's called.
I think I saw that. It's on the Switch too, right?
It is. That's what I got it for.
Yeah.
I can't say under the radar necessarily,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna go with
Arcade Paradise is what it's called.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Dead Island 2,
Yeah.
just because it's been such a long time in the making here. Really, so what the original one was like 2011 ish.
Yeah.
So yeah, really looking forward to that one. You said under the radar, and it's hard for me to like get off of things that are on the radar, like Diablo 4. Obviously, that's in my wheelhouse, and that's supposed to drop this summer, I think. I don't know. We got I'm trying to think, what was the other one I was thinking of? There's one more. It was kind of like, the AEW game coming out.
That's never coming out.
It will eventually. It'll come out this year.
I've been talking about that for years.
It'll come out this year. I have faith.
Well, once they take it,
I hope CM Punk's on the cover.
I fucking wish he would.
I hope he is too. I hope he's on the disc art. I hope there's like little Chicago X's everywhere, all over the just
William
like that.
Regal.
Yeah.
William Regal. He's got to throw in there somewhere.
No, I mean, look,
The Hardy Boys get to come out to their music.
They renamed the game. It's no longer Fight Forever. It's just AEW Best in the World.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. The more and more I hear about the whole situation, and the more I think about it, the more and more I'm on Punk's side too. So,
Whatever.
I'm fully Team Punk. Look, the Young Bucks are little douchebags. Fuck them.
The first thing I'm
FTR.
going to do when I buy that game is I'm going to beat Jade Cargill with anyone just to get that stupid title off her.
I thought you were gonna say you're gonna have a handicap match of the Young Bucks versus CM Punk.
There you go.
I'm going to.
I've really been enjoying I thought it was going to be long and boring and stupid. The best of 7 with the Elite versus Death Triangle, but it's been really good. And of course, it's gone to 7 matches, surprisingly enough. But yeah.
I want to see what MJF says when he's contractually obligated to show up in Seattle.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you what. I love AEW, but I am starting to the shine's coming off the apple a little bit. I'll fully admit that.
I think that's a good spot to leave it. We'll let's do some wrestling next time, and we'll.
The only thing I'm worried about is the Acclaim dropping the title to Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal.